Hi, I'm Steve Garrett, Past Assistant Governor, Rotary Club of Glendora, District 5300. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Zooming with style. Last few months we've been doing a lot of our meetings on Zoom. I've done a couple of 2 or 3 board of directors meetings, one for the district, one for my club, one for another club. I've done a few training sessions for the district, board of directors training. I've participated in a few other training sessions, the district assembly. I checked into the Rotary International Convention on Zoom. I've been going to my Rotary Club meetings 2 or 3 times a month. I've been going to Rotary Club meetings in other Rotary clubs. I've been a presenter and an introducer at Rotary clubs at other clubs on Zoom. I know a lot of people are feeling that Zoom is not the answer, but I see the club that I was a member of for 35 years, the Rotary Club of San Marino, who's got over 100 members, and on a normal day would have 60, 70, maybe 75 in attendance. And right now they're having 30, 35, maybe 40 in attendance. And it kind of tells you that there's something wrong with this whole thing. And I think it's a matter of opportunity. I think it's a matter of improving our Zooming abilities. Let's call it Zoom with style. Zoom with style, not just for you as a participant, but for your fellow Rotarians as participants, for your satisfaction as a member of Rotary that's participating in it, and for the satisfaction of the other members, and maybe for the growth of Rotary. So here's a couple of thoughts I'd like to share with you about how Zooming is working out.
Okay, here's an example of something I see a lot with many of our Rotarians when they're checking into Zoom accounts or Zoom meetings. They use their iPad or in my case, it's a Kindle, their cell phone, whatever it is, and they put it on the desk and they look at it. And or maybe they don't look at it. Maybe they're watching television. And sometimes when they're watching television, they leave the sound on because they want to hear the sound of this television show they're watching, and they don't realize that you're hearing it too. There's a number of things that are wrong with this. One of them is you got to just love the backlighting here. The ceiling fan keeps me nice and comfortable, but it doesn't really present a great picture. If I did nothing but moved it up to be eye level, I would get a much better picture. And if I kind of moved it in a little bit so that it's not halfway across the room, that would be a little bit better. And we could talk about lighting, and we could talk about a lot of other things, but just moving the thing up to eye level improves, and turning off the background music, that improves the whole thing. But there's a lot of other things that we can do to improve it. And let's talk about some of those. But now here's something else that I've seen many of my Rotarians do. I like my backyard. It's kind of attractive. It's got nice gardening and a fountain and various things. And so sometimes, but I don't really want to stand out there in the middle of the sun. So sometimes people will do the Zoom meeting from the patio with the backyard in the background, or the beach, or something else that's kind of nice and bright. But it doesn't really give you the best effect.
So here's an example of one of the things that I notice a lot of people do when they do a Zoom meeting. One of them is they set the camera on the desk and they get a nice wide view of where they are and what they're doing. And that's okay. And this is with regular room light. And, it's not horrible, but let me show you a few things that you can do. So here's an example of what you get when you get the camera a little closer to your face, and an example of what you get if you get a little better lighting. We'll talk about lighting. Another challenge I often see is some people like to have music in their house, and sometimes they don't turn that music off when they're on Zoom because it's nice background music, except it's very distracting to all the viewers who are sharing with you. Being a better participant in Zoom, it's not that hard. It's a lot of little things. And I'll talk a little bit about how you can either ramp this up and be an even better participant in Zoom next week. But I think it's important that we pay a little bit of attention to the small details. I mean, you wouldn't do some of the things in a real meeting that you do in a virtual meeting. And because you're in a virtual meeting, you think it's okay to do some of those things, but it really isn't. And if we're going to leverage these virtual meetings to be better than actual in-place meetings, we're going to have to put a little effort and energy and thought into it. I'm Steve Garrett, Rotary Club of Glendora, District 5300. Those are a couple of my thoughts. I hope to improve your Zoom experience.